Well, the new Facebook user interface is coming through and we are live. Okay, hi everyone. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, depending when you are watching this video. So, welcome to the Positivity Podcast, and today is day 3 of this podcast. Today, we will be looking at Arjun Vishad Yoga. So, how many of you have read Bhagavad Gita? Raise of hands wherever you are. Well, the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita is called the Arjun Vishad Yoga. And Arjun was supposed to be the best warrior in Mahabharata Yuddha, Mahabharata war. And despite of being the best, despite of being the best archer there, still, when he looked at all of his relatives in front of him, ready to fight him to death, he had second thoughts. His mind was clouded by negativity, and he showed all the symptoms of a panic attack. And that's when he turns to his guru, and that is Sri Krishna. And from the second adhyay onwards, Krishna tells him the Gyan, and that is what the entire source of Bhagavad Gita. So I've also seen the exact same concept being mentioned in the book called as The Power of Positive Thinking by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. If you can get this book handy or if you have a PDF of it, please go through. It's an amazing book. In that book as well, what he mentions is when you have a lot of negative thoughts, they impact your physical health. The way you wake up, the way you are roaming around in your house changes depending on the thoughts that you have in your mind. The moment you have that focus, that's really really important. The moment we have these positive thoughts, it's very important for us to stay healthy. Talking about staying healthy, today I visited one of the grocery stores in our society, and as I went there, I could see, fortunately, I was the first one in the queue. And as I was waiting there, because the store only allows 8 people at a time to shop, and even that as well, they had to maintain complete distance from each other so that they follow social distancing. And they checked my temperature, they gave me a sanitizer, and it was a really good and positive experience that I wanted to share with you. And having a simple experience as getting going out for groceries, that is being allowed, and the kind of precautions that they are taking, I think that's really good. Overall, I've seen 3 good news today in the news that I want to share with you. And the news are, the first one being that when the Prime Minister of UK, that is Boris Johnson, he called for 250,000 volunteers to help deliver groceries and medicine to the most vulnerable citizens in the UK, or who have been ordered to self isolate. But within 24 hours, they received 400,000 people who stepped up and they nominated themselves as a volunteer for this. And if that's not enough, we have all been looking at the numbers of how the pollution is increasing, and that was causing an impact on the air that we breathe because of this lockdown and the lack of movement. Whichever city is under lockdown, the pollution in that city has come down drastically. And if we in India continue to be in this lockdown for another 18 days, then I'm sure that there is really good healthy air waiting for us at the end of those 18 days. Talking about 18 days, coming back to where I spoke about Arjuna from Bhagavad Gita. I think it's important for us to read these kind of books. I also can remember that Swami Vivekananda, when he was told that if you are stranded on an island and you have just one thing to carry, what will you carry with you? And he said, I will carry Bhagavad Gita with me because that book gives me all the answers. But that was his answer. Is there a book in your life which is special to you? I think it's time to embrace that book. It's time to embrace that aspect of your personality. So, today, as I end this podcast now, please think about this. What book has impacted you the most? The answer could be different for each and every one of you. Try and find that book either online or, if possible, in hand, and then go through that book in these remaining 18 days, because that will help you to remain positives. That will help you to remain positive. And as we said yesterday, that every podcast we will be looking at the positive affirmations. And let's repeat the positive affirmations from today onwards as well. The first one being, I cultivate peace in my mind, my heart, and my body. I am healthy to be an example of health and happiness to others. I will be an example to my family for health and powerful fitness. I will think positive every day in every situation, and I am positive. So, thanks a lot for connecting with me on today's podcast. Let's connect tomorrow on the day 4 of this podcast. If a story that comes to your mind, which might be of interest to everyone, and which is in the theme of positivity, please feel free to share that with me, and I would be more than happy to share that with everyone on this channel. So, thanks a lot, everyone, for joining in, and see you all tomorrow.